You're listening to the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
I'm Leah.
And I am Brandon.
And we are so happy that y'all have chosen to join us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be listening from. God damn it. As always, we are here to discuss all things boozy and bloody. True crime and or horror movies will be our focus every week, along with an alcoholic beverage that we think will pair well with the subject of each episode. Today, we are going to be talking about the movie The Lost Boys.
And Steele Reserve, the 211 High Gravity 8.1% lager by Steele Reserve Brewing. I don't know, Steele Company. We'll find out in a second. But we're going to do something a little bit different this week. So, this is our 17th. I can't, my throat's mucusy. I can't help it.
Ew.
17th episode. And we have a special guest on today with us. So, without further ado, we're going to bring in Sven. Sven, how are you, brother?
Hey, man, how are you doing today?
We're doing good, man. We're just about to
go
do
over
the podcast.
Talk about the beer.
Yeah, but you look good. You look good, man. So, we're going to let the music play a little bit longer. What are we doing here? Okay, so today, we already said what it's about, Lost Boys?
Yes.
And the Steele Reserve High Gravity Lager. So,
quality beer.
It is a quality beer.
Is it a lager?
We were actually, when we were doing sound check a while ago, we were talking about how, like, this is a good beer. This is a good one. This is a good one. So, Steele Reserve is an American lager brand owned and produced by Steele Brewing Company, which is owned by Miller, a subsidiary of Molson Coors. The drink, what is it? The drink comes in black or silver varieties, also known as triple export malt liquor, and high gravity lager. Respectively, it's high alcohol content. Respectively, it has high alcohol content. So, I got this at Racetrack.
Does anybody
Great place
like
to go for quality alcohol?
This, to me, this is one of those beers where it's just gets you where you need to go, without having to worry about taste.
Does anybody even like malt liquor? Like, nobody I know likes it.
Martin House makes one? They made malt liquor. Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, Martin House makes everything, though.
That sounds disgusting.
So, get my headphones back up over here.
It was probably like a lemon pie malt liquor.
High quality malt liquor.
So, what we're going to do is Sven has his, we have ours. So, we're going to open it up. I'm going to get a little, put it up to the mic, crack yours open. Ooh,
that was a good one.
That was nice. That sounded really good. Like,
is there any smoke?
This is good. Let's see. Did you get any smoke off the can? Any smoke?
No smoke.
Let me see if I can do. Mine sounds. Oh. There he goes. Mine. Oh! It like blew in my. You see that?
It blew in your face.
Yeah, I got some serious smoke on
you can say blue. Blue is okay.
Blew in my face. That scared me. Okay, let's give it a sniff. Dude, this smells like, smells like corn. Sweet corn.
It just smells like beer.
I was catching the aroma of old feet and gym socks.
Damn, you okay?
I mean, yeah. And it smells boozy, too. Real boozy. And bloody.
It smells like a tasteless beer.
So let's see. Give hers a pour. See.
Wherever.
I'm trying to see if
whatever. It sounds like pee.
Looks like pee.
It kind of does.
Sven's already got his poured. Ooh, it's a little bit darker than I expected.
It looks like a jar of piss.
It does.
Can you say piss?
It looks like a jar of piss that like somebody has taken vitamins and hadn't gone to the restroom and drank water. That's what it looks like.
Is that coming from personal experience?
Yes. Yeah.
I've noticed it actually smells better once it's in the glass, though.
Does it?
Definitely.
Here we go. Let's give it a sniff.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, it kind of does.
The head retention, it's terrible.
It's gone.
It's
Immediately,
so
it's gone.
Ew,
It doesn't.
It smells like a hard cider.
It doesn't smell like.
It kind of does smell like a hard cider.
Damn it! Now that you said that, it does. It doesn't smell horrible though. I'm gonna be pissed if this tastes good. Let's see. All right, let's go for it. Let's see if it tastes.
Oh, you go first, man. I'm scared.
I don't know what I don't know what to think about that at all.
I don't like that aftertaste at all.
I guess I didn't drink enough of it. Y'all scared me.
Wow.
At first it's kind of cool, and then it gets sweet, and then it gets metallic, and then boy, this is a strange one.
I don't know what to think about this at all.
Yeah, so I agree. At first it's sweet.
It tastes.
And it's very corny.
Tastes kind of good at first, and then
And then I'm kind of going with cornflakes.
Yeah.
Is that a proper beer description?
Yeah.
Cornflakes?
Yeah, cornflaky. Dude, it tastes like a glass of cornflakes with some hoppy.
And then it kind of moves to grass, and then it just has a pure metal aftertaste.
It does.
I don't taste the metal thing.
Maybe that's where the Steele came from in the name.
Well, I taste grassy. I taste the bitterness, earthy, sweet, corny, cornflaky, metal. It's not bad.
Like, I would not drink this entire thing.
I just remember it being a lot worse than this.
Oh, so you kind of like it?
No, I don't know.
It depends. I want to not drink very much and wake up in a strange place in a stranger's bed and want to chew your arm off. I think that's probably about appropriate.
This tastes like you would get a headache from this.
8.1% though, and you can taste the alcohol in there. You can taste it's kind of a hot.
I don't taste that.
You can smell it though, and I do taste it some. But for 8.1%, look, I got this 24-ounce can. How much was it? Like
Ooh.
$2 or something?
Yeah.
It's like $2.
Yeah, I had 7-Eleven. I'm out on gonna have to do another back surgery, unfortunately. So I'm on medical leave and I can't drive right now. And so I had 7-Eleven deliver it.
One can.
One can.
For $25.
Yeah, the first driver wouldn't deliver it. I think they thought it was a joke. So then when the second one was, I had to send them a text message and say, hey, it's for a podcast. And,
deliver it.
Please deliver it. And she was laughing at me at the door.
Oh my God. Does everybody know what this is?
Yeah, it's pretty
Apparently
cheap.
everybody knows what it is.
I bet you.
I've never heard of it before.
I bet the delivery fee was more than the beer.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
The delivery fee was more than the beer, and so was the tip.
So I think I paid. I mean, I think I saw a sign like you can get 2 of these for like $3.50.
Are you serious?
Yeah, something like that. So cheap,
Ew.
cheap, high production. Just get the job done. If you need to get drunk,
So Leah,
Yes.
what would you pair this with?
I wouldn't drink this, so I don't know. Ugh, it tastes like you would get indigestion like immediately after you drink.
the more you drink it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, because I was just kind of sipping it, and then I was like, well, I'm not tasting what you're tasting, so I took a big swig of it, and I was like,
Oh,
So I need to take a bigger swig, is what you're saying?
oh, no, probably
I don't know
not.
about a big swig, but like the more you drink it, the worse it's tasting.
I feel like I feel it like right here.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So the bigger swig that you take, the worse it is. I think it's better with small sips.
I'm doing small sips, and it's still just as bad.
I was expecting it to be worse. I will say that.
The
You
first.
know those? I think if you're going to pair it, you know those dollar frozen pizzas that you get, the real cheap ones?
Yes, the one
I
that
think this would be
Brandon
great with
voluntarily
that, 'cause
eats.
those taste just like the cardboard box they're in.
But those aren't even Totinos. Those
Or
are
they're like the chicken logs.
yeah, the chicken logs from the racetrack.
I will say, I will give you that. That is good.
I know, it's good stuff.
The gas station burritos.
Have not had
Go
that.
into Allsup's, deep fried, the
Yeah,
one that's been
the
sitting
double-
there for 24 hours.
The double deep
Ugh.
fried. Yeah, the double deep fried burritos.
This would be perfect with that.
It would be.
Ugh.
It's good. I don't want to say it's good. It's at first it tasted like it was going to be like refreshing. It got sweet, and cloying, kind of an annoying, weird thing. And then it got bitter, and then it got. But the more you drink it, the worse it's getting.
I've never had malt liquor, and I was not expecting it to taste like that.
Malt liquor. Malt liquor.
Yeah, that.
That wasn't even me.
I know.
Good grief, Leah. That was horrible.
Like, do you feel better, Leah? Do you feel better? Every time. She's like, oh my God, you okay?
Because.
Oh my God. So yeah, this is.
It's disgusting, but I'm going to finish it off.
Here's the weird thing again. Now it gets kind of cool, kind of the sweetness without the. I'm going to get a little bit more. I'm just going to try it. Yeah.
Look. See, I refilled.
I don't know about that.
We've, like.
But honestly, though, what does that look like? It looks like I took a whiz and
It does. It looks like you haven't drinking water after you
like a lab
drank
sample.
all night. A lab sample.
Like if you needed a prop, like if you were doing like a video and you needed a prop for pee in a glass.
Or you could just pee in a glass and then save your money.
Okay, I can't keep drinking that.
That fresh pour got bitter again. So out of 5 stars, I'm probably going to
Did.
1.
Yeah,
Negative 0.5.
This fucking sucks.
This
is a bad. Let's go 1.5.
Yeah, is that because you gave it a refill?
If you hold your breath and chug it, it gets the job done.
It kind of fits in with the theme for the movie for the night. Vampires suck, and this beer sucks.
So speaking of a good segue of
Yes.
sucking.
Let's talk about The Lost Boys.
Much better movie than this.
1987. This was so we watched it again last night. And I actually really
Do not even sit there and say this was okay because you picked this. This was okay.
Can I talk?
Sure.
Okay, it was okay. No, but here's the thing though. Like this was made in 1987. And I actually paid attention to it. Like most of the time when we do a horror movie or a slasher or whatever, or true crime, I pay attention. But like, I was paying attention to details. I usually pay attention to details, but never mind.
AKA, I don't listen to anything, and I just rely on you to tell.
What I was going to say is, this is total,
Michael.
This is total 80s. Like everything in it 80s, from the chain earrings to the.
I do like that. I will say
the mongoose bicycle that everybody wanted back in the 80s.
Can't relate.
Did you want one of those when you were younger?
Heck yeah.
See? So I had friends that had, one friend had a blue one, another friend had a red one, and I wanted the yellow one. Because it was like, so the guy, was it Corey Haim? He was riding the red one. And I was like, dude, that's 80s. Like, just a lot of cool stuff in the movie that made me think, man, this is a total 80s movie. Like, today people think the 80s is all about neon and stuff, and it's not. Like, that defined the 80s back then. I'm talking, and Leah's looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Did you know that there are 2 sequels to this movie?
Yes.
No.
I haven't seen them, but yeah, I knew that.
I have seen them.
Wait. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did, but I haven't seen them.
And I think Corey Feldman's in one or both of them. I think. Isn't
I
he?
believe he's in both of them.
And you have seen them?
I have, and I would tell you the first one isn't that good, and the second sequel was okay. I mean, they have a very cheesy B-movie feel to them, but they're...
Oh, up my alley.
I was just about to say that.
At the same time, they work. The second one better than the first, though. The second sequel.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So the second movie sequel is better than the original one?
Yeah. Not better than the original, better than the first sequel.
Oh, okay,
better than the third is better than the second one.
So, what do you remember? Like what year the third one was made? Because I do remember this, but I never watched it.
The sequels were made in the 2000s, 2010s.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Corey Feldman's old.
I want to say one of
old.
them is on one of the streaming platforms. Like I think it's on Netflix or something.
Yeah,
because I've seen it.
That's where I watched the first one.
Yeah, because I've seen it on something before, and I just thought, well, that looks like that would suck, so I never watched it.
So part 3 was better than 1. Now I'm gonna have to watch it because I mean, like I thought this was pretty good.
It
is
good.
total-
Part 3
good.
was better than part 2. I think it's as good as part 1.
Really? That kind of.
But not better.
All right.
There aren't as many. I mean, there's so many great quotes from part 1.
There are, and there's a lot of good movies, a lot of good parts to it. It's like kind of like the saxophone guy, like you know.
Oh my, that's the only reason I feel like we watch this movie. It's you always talk about that guy.
The saxophone guy, like what's that meme that says, "Let's make a vampire movie," and the other part said, "Let's put something in here or something that we don't need," or said nobody, and it had the saxophone guy down there. It's like
I've never seen
had
that.
nothing to do with anything in the movie, but like a pillar part of the movie that you remember. And the guy still does this. He still goes around playing the saxophone like on tour, for real. Anyway,
I did not know that.
yeah. So I'm kind of into this movie just because of the time frame and a lot of the stuff that happened was like, damn, I remember that.
I mean, it's a good movie, but I
It's cheesy,
can't relate to it in any way, shape, or form.
total cheese. But it was like so many things, like the record store.
Yeah, it is very cheesy. But I mean, it's a good
You know,
movie.
Brandon, even though you're a vampire, you're still my brother.
Join us. I don't want to kill you. I'm not a killer.
So this movie on IMDb was rated 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 6.3 out of 10, and then the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes was 4.2 out of 5. Okay, I don't understand the Rotten Tomatoes thing because why is one of the scores out of 10 and the other's out of 5? Why aren't they both out of 10?
Different scales, obviously.
I don't know. I guess they don't
You
trust the
know.
audience to rate out of 10.
I don't know.
I guess maybe.
I don't know.
But the budget for this was $8.5 million, and they made at the box office collectively $31.7 million.
Nice.
So it cut a good profit.
Yeah, nice.
There's a lot of nostalgia feel about this movie, though.
That's what
A lot
Brandon
of
said the
people
whole
like
time.
really look back on it with fondness.
Yeah. That's why like the movie is just it's cheesy as hell. But like when you're watching it, it's like, damn, I remember that. I paid more attention to it this time than I ever have. Ouch. So
I mean, I feel like there's only like one reason to watch this movie. It's that main guy, Michael. That's the only reason you
Michael.
should watch this movie.
oh, you like Michael?
He's cute.
Leah has a crush on Michael,
he has the
Along
George
with-
Michael earring.
along with every woman in the '80s that loved Michael.
Well, I
Michael.
mean,
So the
Yeah,
cast.
that's the one thing that you'll walk away from with nightmares about this movie is how many times they said Michael.
they really did. And I was thinking that last night. I included that in our notes because I thought it was funny when I saw that, like how many times they said it. But
Oh, is that in the notes?
yes,
yeah,
118
it is.
times.
It
They
was a
said
lot.
that.
18. Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like 218.
I know. We were watching that last night, and I always kind of thought they said it a lot, but last night I was like, we get it. Like, everybody knows his name. You can probably
Right.
stop saying it.
Yeah, he knows you're talking to him, bro.
Yeah, say,
I felt rather
Bruh.
insulted. I'm like, you don't think that I'm going to follow one of the major character of the movie's name? Michael.
Join us, Michael. I heard you.
I don't want to be one of you.
But I'll drink your shit, your blood. But damn it,
you're
you know what I'm saying? Your bottle.
I do know what you're
Craziest
saying.
scene for me is like the Chinese food.
That's
Maggot.
gross.
It's maggots, Michael. Of course, we got to throw Michael
you
in.
enjoying
It's
your
Michael.
maggots?
I feel like that was one of
Eat
those
some
things that was
worms.
like kind of inexplicable. Like, you never really understood what that was. You know what I mean? Like, how they did it or anything. It was just like, oh, they did it. But how? And then, like, it never happens again throughout the entire movie.
He's playing mind games on him at first.
Yeah, but how?
Because they're
Yeah, that's
vampires.
not
They do
like
what they
one of
want.
the traditional vampire powers, is it? I mean,
No.
vampires can coerce you to do things, right?
Yeah.
It's the 80s. Well, I
but they
guess it
can't-
doesn't matter.
Affect your vision.
I think these vampires kind of suck, I will say.
Maybe so. Maybe.
Well,
maybe
hey,
so.
it has something in common with Steel Reserve.
This is all going together very well, by the way. The beer and the
That's like what you do every single time we do this.
and you give me so much crap over it, and it's hilarious.
Because it's so loud when you do it.
Did you not just hear him just yelling in the mic when he burped?
Yeah, but what am I going to say to him?
I didn't get any closer to the mic when I did that.
That's okay. Who the cast is on this?
So the cast is Kiefer Sutherland. He plays David. Corey Haim is Sam. Jason is it Patrick or Patrick?
Patrick.
Whatever. Is Michael. Diane Weiss is Lucy. Edward Herman is Max. I love Edward Herman. He's on Gilmore Girls.
Is he?
Yes. And Overboard.
Oh, which one was he in Overboard?
Her husband. The asshole husband. The bridge guy.
Yeah. Yes. You're right. Yeah.
How come I know this and y'all don't?
Oh, I didn't know the name. I remember the movie. But...
Jamie Gertz is Star. Corey Feldman is Edgar Frog. And Jameson Newlander is Alan Frog.
Oh, Joel Schumacher directed this?
You know him?
No. But that's what the notes say, so...
Oh, my gosh.
And the Corey Feldman voice. It's always so rocky. I can't do it right, but...
I love Corey Feldman. I like him in The Burbs. He's
that's
good
right.
in Burbs.
Yeah? Wait. Okay, yeah.
What? This was the first Corey's film. The first movie they were in together.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
License to Drive. I don't know. License to Drive. What year was that?
I don't fucking know.
License to Drive. Anybody?
I forgot you made me watch that, and it looked like somebody filmed it like...
It looked like the same
on a
people that
tape
filmed...
at their house.
It looked like the same people that filmed Mannequin. License to Drive. I'm going to see.
Oh, yeah, you like Mannequin. Kim Cattrall.
1988.
Oh.
1 year. You know what's really weird is there's a lot of movies like that. Like, some movies are really well made, and you can't really believe that it was made so long ago. And then one that was made like 10 years later is like, why does it look so shitty?
And here's the other thing, too. Like, so back in the 80s, they moved... this family, whatever, moved to California, right? Mm-hmm. They moved from Arizona, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, it seemed like a lot of 80s movie, Can't Buy Me Love, filmed in Arizona.
Can't Buy Me Love, yeah.
It's like all of these 80s movies were filmed in Arizona for some reason.
I think Tucson was like, for some reason, like a popular, like, we have to go there place.
Brother, you're really drinking that, aren't you?
I'm committing to the part.
8%, man. You know what? I'm going to get a little bit more...
You know what's so funny? Did I tell you this earlier when we were at Flying Saucer? I was talking to you about this earlier, and I don't think I finished the story. We were at Flying Saucer on the way home the other day because we couldn't get on the highway. And so we stopped over there. And that La Fine du Monde, is that what it's called?
La Fine du Monde? Yeah.
My dad was like, I think that's high alcohol. And he just kept saying that, like, so worried. And I was like, well, I'm not fucking driving, so whatever. And he goes, let me look that up real quick. And he looked it up, and he goes, that's 9%. And I was like, that's cute.
That's cute. I remember my first beer.
Because you and I drink, like, a lot on here, like 13, 14% beers. So I was like, 9%. I could drive home.
Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. You should have said, yeah, I remember when I used to go to the brewery and drink like 14% before I drove home.
No, I did not.
No, she didn't.
No, I did not.
Yep, you didn't.
That Imperial Stout wasn't 13 or 14%.
It was 10.
Oh, it's true.
So anyway, this is how it happens, bro. This is how it all goes in a podcast thing. He's almost finished with his. We're not even halfway
That's so
through
bad.
ours.
I don't know. When you get like a really big gulp of that, it's actually not that bad.
See, I told you. It's like if you
That's the way I figured out how to do that one. By the way, is you have to take it in big gulps.
If you let it sit out for a while, it gets better.
It's more corn.
Let
flaky.
it breathe.
Yeah.
Yes. Let it warm up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought the point of it was
Okay.
to finish the beer, by the way. You're telling me I don't have to?
We don't always. Well, we kind of always do finish them, but some of the beers we have on here aren't always like high alcohol, so it's not.
Yeah, it was either this. They had another one that was like ice, and it was like, I'm not 5.4% or something.
I think the only time that we drank something all the way and like I really like it affected me was that Goose Island bourbon barrel stout.
And I still have some of those.
I love that.
Oh my
I drank
gosh.
that at home one day.
I bet you did when it's cold outside.
I just didn't have anything to do.
We're already 25 minutes into this podcast and
Haven't
gone
even started the
nowhere.
movie. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But they keep saying in that movie how where they moved Santa Carla, which is supposed to be Santa Cruz, is the murder capital of the world.
Or
And
was Santa Carla Santa Clara?
see, that's what I thought. I was like, that makes a whole lot more sense than having Santa Cruz be Santa Carla. Just, switch the letters around in Clara.
Yep, that's what I think too. That's all I can
You
add
don't
to
think
that.
anything about it. But the reason it was actually dubbed that is because of the crazy murders that happened there. And one of them was Edmund Kemper in that area.
I was around the same time.
In the 70s.
So the Edmund Kemper thing was like supposed to be where's he?
So it wasn't just him. It was John Lindley, Fraser, Herbert Mullen, and Edmund Kemper. And in that area, they endured 28 murders over a 30-month period between 70 and 73. That's a lot of fucking people.
Damn, no wonder they. Okay, so they got the plot of this movie off of that. It's like based on something real, kind of.
Yeah,
a fictional
kind of.
place based on something kind of that really happened.
Well, maybe they were vampires.
Aren't there like 3 vampires in this? The original, isn't it like a trio of guys?
There's 4 vampires, and then the leader, which is 5.
Oh, that's true.
It's 'cause there's.
There's the dude from Bill and Ted.
I was just about to say that.
The blonde one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The Bill and Ted
I've never
dude.
First
seen
one
that.
to get killed.
Yeah. The Bill and Ted dude, the David, and then 2 others. I think there's 5 though.
I don't remember
5
their
total.
Yeah, but the girl. Well, no, I think there are 5 vampires total.
So the
That is
girl
right.
was the girl a vampire or no? Or was
So she was kind
she-
of in the same thing as that Michael guy, right?
They saved her. That's the whole point of the movie. They
Yeah.
saved her and Michael and little
That-
baby.
But I thought she was like a half, right?
Yeah,
Well,
she was a
that's-
half vampire.
That's what Michael is,
she
I
hadn't
think.
shed yet.
Okay, so they were both half, and he was supposed to be her first kill, right?
Yes, yes.
But then he saved her, and then so I'm getting ahead of everything.
Yes.
So why are they lost?
I don't fucking understand.
Why is it called Lost Boys?
It-
Why were they lost?
Allegedly, it's some
Seems
kind
like
of...
they know where they were going.
So stupid. Allegedly, it's some kind of reference to Peter Pan. How? I don't know. I haven't figured that out.
Do you know anything about that, Sven? That's a no. Okay.
Give him like a chance
Oh, sorry.
to respond. Shit.
Deep thoughts.
But Kiefer Sutherland's dad, Donald Sutherland, was in a vampire movie 5 years after this, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. And he was also in the Salem's Lot remake I made you watch. With Rob Lowe. Have you ever seen Salem's Lot?
What was that?
Have you ever seen Salem's Lot? The vampire movie?
No.
Oh my god. The Rob Lowe one is really good. It's super good. It was like 2004, I think.
We watched that?
Yes, and you kept asking me when it was over.
Man, I've had to watch some pretty bad ones.
No, you...
I have.
No, you have not.
Whatever.
You act like I
I'm here for the-
lock you in your room and make you watch horrible movies.
I'm
and
here
I
for
don't.
I'm here for the alcohol and hey, look. Excuse me. He went dark back there too.
Yeah, I saw y'all change the background. I had to change the background.
Excuse me. Good Lord. Excuse me. Are you
Still
okay?
Are you gonna
catching
make
up with
it?
you?
What?
Still reserve catching up with you?
Yeah. You know what this is? You know what this reminds me of, Sven? This would be like something to take to camping, keep it ice cold, and slam it next to the campfire.
Yeah. Might not be a bad camping beer, and you know what? You could probably start a fire with it if it didn't work.
It'd suck the fire out of it. It's speaking of which, we need to go do that sometime soon. Okay.
Okay, so this movie was directed by a guy named Joe Schumacher.
Joe Schmo.
I didn't even think about that.
Schmo.
could
Joel
say that.
Schumacher.
His most
He
notable.
did Batman and Robin.
Yes.
That's the one with the bat nipples with George Clooney.
I haven't seen that one.
Don't they all have bat nipples? They don't all have bat nipples?
Bipples.
They don't all have bipples? I don't know. I don't even know what to
The
say.
bat suit. George Clooney's bat suit had bat nipples.
Oh.
They really did. They were pingy.
Is that the one that has
George Clooney.
Alicia?
It's the one that-
yes, yeah. Her is Jim Carrey in that one?
No, he's in Batman Forever.
Oh, see, I don't watch Batman, so I don't know.
Oh, he was the Joker?
No, he was some Riddler
Not
or
Joker.
something.
Riddler.
That's right, the Riddler.
I don't watch it. And I know.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah. Going down a rabbit hole. Sorry, guys.
But he did the Phantom of the Opera.
Opera.
I think
Phantom of the Opera. Othra.
I hate,
She makes fun of me all the time for not being able to read something.
I hate you sometimes.
All the time.
No, I don't. Falling Down.
Do.
I feel like you just said something to me about that Falling Down movie.
Is that the one where he goes like effing crazy?
I've never seen it. I don't know.
Yeah?
With Michael Douglas.
Yes.
Okay.
Great movie.
Okay, this guy directed that.
Okay. That was a fantastic movie.
Flatliners. I like Flatliners, the original one.
I don't know if I've seen Flatliners.
And Kiefer Sutherland's also in that.
You know what? I need to adjust
And
this.
St. Elmo's Fire. And I love St. Elmo's
St.
Fire.
Elmo's Fire.
So this guy has a pretty good reputation.
Am I back?
Yep. Yep, we got you. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm reading this?
Okay, I'll read it.
Wait.
You edit this, right?
Yes, we do.
Normally, we
Yes.
don't really edit it.
Yes. We try not to, but I'm going to. All right.
This-
I'm a little ADD. I apologize.
No,
This
it's
malt
okay.
liquor is doing a number tonight
No. It's
on all of us.
typically we don't have this much to talk about, so this is
No,
good.
yeah.
This is good.
Normally we just stare at each other and laugh.
So it says a mother and her two sons moved to a small town in California. The town is plagued by bikers and some mysterious deaths. The young boys make friends with other two boys and who claim to be vampire hunters.
Ew. What?
Oh, gosh.
Why are you laughing?
The younger boy
Rock
makes friends
reference.
with the other two boys who claim to be vampire hunters, while the older boy is drawn to gang of bikers by a beautiful girl. The older boy starts sleeping days and staying out nights, while the younger boy starts getting into trouble because of his friend's obsession. Didn't you just read that a second ago?
I read it when we were doing the test for the sound.
Okay. All right. So am I supposed to read the plot too?
No, I mean, that's kind of just like an overview, like a guide for us to follow like,
All right.
throughout the movie, and we talk about it.
Okay, just wondering. 'Cause that's long.
Yeah. So what we're
It's just
going to
like
do is
it's just a guide. Like we don't actually like
Yeah.
read through everything. Like we kind of just talk about
we freebase it the entire
yeah,
time.
pretty much.
It's just basically.
I like the last line of this, though, this paragraph, because it fits in with what we're doing. As Lucy makes sure her boys are okay, the grandfather goes in the kitchen and pops a beer and says, "There's one thing living about Santa Clara I never could stomach.
it's
All
very-
the damn vampires."
he knew the entire time. He knew. Pops knew. What are you doing?
I dropped mine.
Why don't you put your beer up and then try
I'm
to
okay.
get...
I'm not that worried about it.
Oh, my God.
I blame it on the Steel Reserve.
Yeah. So, yeah, they moved to Santa Carla.
Santa Carla because their parents got divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and the mom,
Moved in with Dad.
yes,
So Dad lives in basement.
Don't they say Santa Clara in the movie?
No,
It's
they
Carla.
did say Carla.
Did they? Okay.
So it's Santa Carla.
Santa Carla,
Her dad
and-
lives there, so she's going there to start a new life from the divorce.
yes. And I have to say, I love their mom. She's in Edward Scissorhands.
She was also in...
She's in a bunch of shit. She's in Footloose. She's the mom in
She
Footloose.
is the mom in Footloose. She was also in... what's that movie with the Steve Martin where they're having like kids and stuff and
Where they're having kids.
whatever. It doesn't matter. So they moved
There are a
to...
lot of Steve Martins where people have kids and stuff.
So they're driving to Santa Carla, and as they pass the Santa Carla sign, the very Michael, because we know what his name is, Michael,
Yes.
turns around and sees the back of it says the murder capital of the world. Not
Why would you
America.
put that on your sign?
Well, I think it was spray painted. It was graffiti.
It wasn't
see,
right.
I
It was
wasn't-
spray painted on the back of the side.
Yeah. So he looked back and saw, oh. And then next scene is they're driving up into their dad's house, and suddenly Michael's riding his motorcycle.
Yes.
So I guess they stopped
Or his
somewhere.
dirt bike or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it is.
They stopped somewhere for him to get his motorcycle. Dirt bike.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they're...
Which was kind of confusing because they're poor, right? They have no money. And they cover that, how they have no money in the beginning of the movie when they're all in the house, and yet they go to this fair. I mean, that's like the next scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where they move on to the fair. That's where Michael goes and ends up meeting the girl or seeing the girl, right? But they have no money. And I'm like, well, if you have no money, how'd you go to the fair anyway?
Well, maybe it was free. Maybe it's a free fair.
But then
I mean,
they
there is a note here that I'm not sure that we covered. This movie was made in 3 weeks.
what the hell was that,
Dude,
Brandon?
I don't know what you just did.
I'm just looking through my paper.
That was so loud.
It was awesome. I was like, what is he doing?
I thought you were doing something.
No.
Sorry. I was looking through my paper. I know, I was just saying, this movie was made in 3 weeks. And sometimes it feels like
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I feel the same way. I mean, once you learn that fact, you're like, okay, I can kind of see it. Like the feet of the vampires. Come on now. That bothered me
she
so
made a
bad.
big deal about that. Yes,
Which
so
one?
There's the part where they're hanging upside down inside that place.
And the feet
Show
look
the
like...
feet, and she was like, "Oh my god, that looks so real." I'm like, "It's some 87."
The
Yeah.
feet are horrible.
3 weeks though. I didn't know
I
that.
gotta admit, that's what it looked like before a pedicure.
That's what Brandon looks like before a pedicure.
I look at that now. I hadn't had a pedicure in a while.
You only had one.
Yeah, I've
You
only
know,
had one.
going off subject just one more time. You know, why do the Asian women always show you your foot shavings?
I don't know, and they
they?
always
Oh,
do
this
it.
was a
Yes,
lot.
The one time I had one, she was rubbing my legs and like staring deep into my eyes. I'm like,
and laughing, and they were talking about him.
and I looked over at Leah. I'm like, I feel weird. This feels uncomfortable. Like she is rubbing my legs hard and staring at me. I'm like, was she not, dude? I'm not trying to be nasty here, but I thought she was. It looked like she was.
No, it did not. You're
That's what it looked like.
You're a little too.
And I was like, I had to look at her because I was like, this is getting too intimate.
You're
That
trying
was-
to bring me into it.
Yes.
I
I'm
don't
trying
know.
to enjoy my pedicure.
I can never go that far. My feet are ticklish, so even when they're doing like the cheese grater crap on the bottom of the feet,
The
like I'm like
cheese
trying
grater.
to laugh.
The cheese grater.
Look at all the skin getting off your feet.
They
You
do
see?
that.
You see this? Yeah, I
I'm
see
like,
it.
it's a nightmare.
But they
Edit
go.
that out. I'm not racist against Asians.
They go to the fair that night, right? Not the next day, and that's when the saxophone guy's playing. That's
I
when he
thought that
meets-
was a different night. The saxophone thing.
No,
was
I
it
think
not?
it's the same.
I was tuning in
No,
and out. 'cause
I think
was
it's the same
editing
night.
Pictures.
Bro, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
That was so loud. They go to the fair. They go to the fair that night, right? Not the next day. That's when he sees Homegirl at the concert,
Oh, I guess that's true. I don't fucking know.
and the mom is walking around, and that's what she sees as something like,
She meets Edward Herman, who is Max in the movie.
yeah. And because there's a kid there crying on the boardwalk.
And he owns, is it like a record store?
Yeah, it's like total 80s record store looking too.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just a record store though. They sold videos too. Because
That's
the videos
right, the
playing in the
VHS.
background, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. VHS tape.
So
And he looks suspicious as shit from the get-go. Like, let's just be real.
Yeah, he looked like
I had child molester vibes.
he did. Hardcore.
Oh, and he was the head one, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So drawing to your illusion that this could have been about the serial killers, was there an old child molestery serial killer?
I don't know, because I haven't heard of two of those people. I've only heard of Edmund Kemper.
Edmund Kemper was not a child molester, was he?
No, he
Okay.
wasn't.
Okay. So They meet, whatever. And then Michael, she walks off. Michael's following her.
Yes.
Of course, Corey's like tagging along. He's like, dude, can you not go somewhere else?
Yes.
Don't you have something better to do? So he's like, hell yeah, I'm going to go to the comic book store.
Yeah.
And that's when he walks in there and he meets Corey Haim. Or, I'm sorry, whatever.
The Coreys.
The Fish Brothers, is that what it was?
Frog Brothers.
Frog Brothers.
Why would you name a character that?
Frog Brothers.
It's Alan and...
Frog.
What's his name?
The Frogs.
Alan and Edgar.
Alan and Edgar Frog. He goes in
Edgar
there,
Frog. I would change my name.
and they're like,
That's horrible.
they can tell that he's an outsider, right?
Yes.
So they go up to him and like start trying to, whatever, make him feel like he's not there. We can tell you're an outsider. And so he's like, why is this comic book with this series? Because it was released before and so. And they're just like, oh my God, like this guy already knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, they were
knows his
going over
shit.
like he was all going over. Well, I have a Batman number, whatever.
Yeah, like total 80s shit. Like, we didn't have phones, right?
Were y'all into
Hey
comics?
man, no, there's still comic book nerds to this day. We have a friend of ours
Like that, though?
well, former friend of ours that is Comic-Con famous. Man, come on, comics are still good.
True, but it's also on like video platform, not just books, right?
True.
I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
But nobody brags about how I have the original Michael Keaton Batman film on VHS.
With hard nipples. In his nipple suit.
With his bipples.
With his bipples.
But anyway, so Michael
and then we cut to like Michael, right?
yes, and he's following
and like
Star.
that's him and Star.
Following her, and then they run into David and his homies.
So he goes to the video store thing. Mm-hmm. And then he walks up to her or she walks up to him or something. And he said something like, do you want to go get dinner or do you want to go whatever?
Yeah.
They're walking together. She gets on his bike with him. And then that's when
And then the
gang comes up.
first Michael happens.
Kiefer comes up and he's like,
Star. Basically, get on the bike.
Yeah.
Star, you're gonna come with me.
Kanye Westing her ass.
Right. Ike Turner. And she's scared like Ike Turner going to beat her.
Turnery.
So she gets in, they drive off. And and that's when he said,
Well, she gets on his bike, and then they start to like race to some area.
well, he said to him, he's like, if you're worth it, you'll race us or something like that. And he said, my bike can't take yours.
like you just have to keep up.
You just have to keep up. And
What a hard ass.
Yeah, badass 80s. And again, in the 80s, everybody wanted a dirt bike. That was like the thing
Why?
to
They
have.
did.
Everybody
They
wanted
did.
it was just a cool thing back then. So the dirt bike gang was very symbolic of something back in the 80s.
And then they end up at this beach, right?
Yeah, they're racing down the beach.
Or did that happen later?
No, they're racing down the beach. They go underneath the boardwalk and
And then they end up at the cave.
the location.
or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, which used to be a hotel that apparently cracked during the fault line, and then they turned it into their own place.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Leah kind of dozed off a few places here.
Oh
and
my
there.
god. Yeah.
And then that's where like so at first they're eating the Chinese food, right? And then he's like, and
That was that time, wasn't it?
Michael, look, you're eating maggots. And you look down and the rice turns into maggots.
That's so disgusting.
So that was the same scene then. It's not like, okay, so automatically he's trying to groom him to be one of them. Trying to get your girl, but yet you want to be one of them. He wants him to be one of them.
Yeah. Which, you know what kind of always bothered me, and I guess maybe this is something I probably should talk about at the end, but what bothers me about this movie is like there's no origin to why they're connected to that other guy. He's just like, oh, these are my boys. But then like you have no idea why they're connected.
They're vampires. They've been together for thousands of years.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I just never really understood that. Because like you never see them until the very end.
They didn't exactly cover it. You're right. Yeah, they
It
didn't
was just
exactly
like, oh, okay.
cover it. Yeah. So
that kind of always bothered me. But anyway.
Yeah, they did the maggots thing. They did the worm thing.
Right.
Then they're like, you should drink this, whatever.
Which is such a turn off if, like, you're watching that movie while you're eating Chinese food.
Ugh. I really didn't think about that. That's gross.
I'd do it. I'd do it.
I know you
But again, here's that part. They're going, you should drink it, Michael. Michael.
Yeah.
They're like 30,000 times.
Michael.
They're chanting.
You
He
know.
drinks it. All right. She's trying to tell him, don't drink it. Apparently, she's already fallen in love with the guy. I don't know.
Yes. Or something.
He drinks it, and apparently all this, thou shalt not. He's having all these weird.
I love that song.
That song is pretty much what makes the movie.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they play it like 40 times.
That
It is the source of the whole movie.
That and the George Michael earrings.
Yeah.
Summary of the Lost Boys.
I ordered some today, by the way.
No, you did not.
Sure as hell did.
You don't even wear earrings.
No, but I might.
Yeah, I think we should bring back the
They're coming back.
long dangly crop. Yeah, I saw that.
I
They're
really did order some today.
Are you serious?
I already have them. But I have to open the hole back up to do it.
You should put it like right
Yeah.
there.
By the way,
Dangle it.
I put my LeBray back in the last week.
On your own?
Yes. I just pushed it through. And I had to take it out like yesterday, the day before, because it started hurt so bad.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So he went with me. I got my LeBray pierced the first time.
Didn't that hurt the first time you got it done?
Didn't feel good. What are the dogs barking about?
Why are they always barking?
Maybe it's a vampire somewhere.
So anyway, and so he drinks that stuff,
Yeah. Michael.
and
Then
then
spin it around, and then he goes home, and he just crashes on the bed.
yeah,
And then his brother walks in like 5 minutes later and opens the blinds.
yeah,
Mom's on the phone. She wants to talk to you. Blah, 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 blah.
and she's wanting to have dinner with Edward Herman, who all of a sudden is like her new boyfriend after
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Everybody in this movie falls in love like in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, how come that can happen to me?
And like when they had dinner and everything, and he was like, "I'm not trying to be your dad." I felt like saying, "I sure as fuck hope not." You've
Bitch,
been
I've known
around
you for 2 days. I've known each other for 2 days. You trying to talk about being my dad? Fuck your mama.
We just had dinner. Calm down.
Dude, I'm just trying to get to know you.
But
I mean, it's at this point too, like, you know, like movies take liberties, right? Apparently the head vampire isn't allergic to garlic.
I was wondering that. Could they put
Yeah.
they put a lot in his spaghetti.
there are
Mom's spaghetti.
Arms are heavy. Mom's
there are
spaghetti.
a lot of movies where like they try to break stereotypes with vampires though. Like
But why?
every vampire movie is different, and so some vampire movies, like an Interview with the Vampire, he likes to look at crosses and shit. And in other
Yeah,
vampire
but that's Anne
movies,
Rice. We're cool with Anne Rice. I'm not sure if I'm cool with Joel Schumacher and the no garlic thing.
it is. I mean,
did-
maybe because it's so stereotypical that they were like, yeah, we probably shouldn't include that. I don't know.
I did notice that though. I was just like, why they're trying to do everything to him. Garlic. They tried to put a mirror in his face to see if everything that typical vampires react to, he had nothing.
Well, in the water thing.
But holy water and squirt guns works.
oh,
Wait. I mean, I
But
know we're
that's-
going through the movie chronologically.
It is what it is. But you know, so here's the thing. He was in a human form when all that stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
When that second part happened, when he reacted to the water, he turned into the werewolf form. Werewolf? Wow.
The werewolf.
The vampire form. Maybe that's when it works. Because you have to be
know.
that vampire form. It has to manifest before it starts working.
That's
I never thought about that.
Because you notice, like, when they mix, again, jumping ahead, when they mix the bathtub full of holy water, they put garlic in it.
oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I was probably asleep.
Yeah, they did.
They put a bunch
ton
of garlic in and they squirted
and then
that guy.
their soap guns.
They squirted one of the guys he burned, and the dog came in and pushed him in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it would have had the same effect should he not have been his vampire state.
I never even thought of that.
Maybe that's what it is then.
That kind of makes you see it in a whole different light then, because I've never, and we've seen that several times, and I've never noticed that.
So, but Michael, when he was not in his vampire form, he was real sensitive to light.
Michael.
Michael. Michael was
And
sensitive light. So Michael's.
They say it such a certain way, or Kiefer Sutherland says it such a certain way. He's like,
Michael.
It's like,
Michael.
It's so creepy.
It's like when the Frog Brothers go down to the cave to do their little whatever, and they stab Bill and Ted guy. Ted. They manifested. They tried Kiefer Sutherland. Let's say Kiefer Sutherland because I can't remember his name again.
Like when they got stabbed, all of a sudden they manifested into like.
They manifested when they tried to grab him and pull him back into the cave when they were trying to get out. The sunlight burned him.
Yeah.
But before that, they'd go out in the light and sunlight didn't burn him.
Yeah, because he was out in the sunlight.
Yeah, so it's kind of maybe that's.
But he had on sunglasses.
But it didn't burn him, so it's strange.
That is weird.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this whole thing is taking a turn for something deeper than we expected.
Anyway.
But now Corey Haim realizes his brother is a vampire, right? Or turning into a vampire or something.
Yeah, because of all of his late nights and sleeping all day. Apparently his breath stinks. Apparently he stinks because the Frog Brothers are asking all these questions.
Yeah, we learned through this movie that vampires have an odor.
Yeah, they stink. Does his breath stink? His breath always stinks.
Something you've never heard before.
I mean, but you look at them, you can tell they stink. Interview with the Vampire, those guys did not stink. They look good. I'm sure they smell good.
It was Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. They didn't stink.
They didn't stink. They didn't stink at all. Their poo didn't stink. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Vampires don't poo, man.
Adjust the slide. Look at that.
But yeah, they went on that like whole little cave mission thing to try to kill them. I guess like nip it in the bud kind of thing.
They got one of them, and then
they like flew out of the cave, didn't they?
Is that when she asked them to help her?
Yes,
or something like that.
Yeah.
We're flying all over the place at this point. I don't even know where we're at now.
I don't understand the kid part. Is it her kid?
I don't know. It was a missing kid because on the back of a milk carton.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it's her kid or not. They never made that clear in the movie. And I've seen this movie. I like vampire movies. It's kind of like my thing. And I've seen this movie 3, 4, or 5 times. And I've never understood whose kid that is. So I think it's just random kid.
And they have the weirdest fucking names. Like his name is like Laddie. Who named these characters? Seriously, Star and Laddie.
Joel Schumacher and Bino.
It's pretty bad. But yeah.
Love you, Bino.
But that didn't work, and so they all go back to his house and take the kid and her with them, right?
Yes.
And they're like staying in Michael's room and they're trying to figure out like what the fuck to do.
Yes.
And then that night they're expecting them to like come to their house, and like the weird ass grandpa like goes on a date or something.
Yeah, he wants to get some again.
In his car that looks like some shit from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
What was that movie? I know that TV show. The
Munsters.
No, the other one. The old 80s, 60s, black and white. There is a little story to a man named Jed.
What is that? I know what you're talking about. Oh, Green
Beverly
Acres?
Hillbillies.
Green Acres?
Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh.
They drove that car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he leaves, and the mom is like out on a date because her kids fucked up the dinner.
Yeah, she is trying to get this guy. She is trying to get some D because
she is like hard. It's like, didn't you just get divorced?
She's like, it's been so long since I've been asked out on a date. Like, dude, you just got divorced. How long do you need?
And so they're all gone, and Michael is babysitting everybody, including Star and Laddie, or whoever. And so that night comes, and you hear motorcycles and shit, like about to come to the house.
And shit.
And shit. And then how do they even get in the house? They like blow through the grass. Or not the grass, the glass. I need to stop drinking this.
They go out they go inside the house, but they leave the dog outside. Remember?
I would not do that.
So they ran out to get the dog, and then they you know what, if they want to get in, they'll get in. But apparently they all got in.
Why would you leave your dog outside?
He forgot.
I would not forget my dog.
They gave permission for the head vampire to come inside. That was part of it.
True. Yeah. Right before his mom left for her date. Right. And then
He gave him permission at dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Because Michael was the man of the house.
That's right.
Yes.
He gave him permission, so that means he gave him permission. When he came in the second time, he'd be like, I didn't give you permission this time. You're still drinking on that thing, aren't you?
Okay, I can't do it anymore.
Sven's already got his
I
done.
can't do it. Yeah, by himself. Ugh.
I bet you that tastes so flat.
It probably does.
Delicious. Delicious.
And
That's not it. So they go through. The mom and the head guy are on a date. All
Max.
this stuff's going on in the house when they're gone. David gets into a fight with
David.
whoever.
With David.
What?
Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah.
Yes, David.
Michael and David get into a fight. And
And have you noticed the irony between their names? How biblical.
ooh, maybe. You might be onto something there too. Might be onto something there too.
And I'm not religious, and I
Michael.
noticed that.
What was the head vampire's name?
Was there some shit going on between Michael and David in the Bible? I don't know.
What was the guy's name? Alan? No.
Oh, I need a mute.
There's no Alan.
And Edgar and Alan Frog.
The head vampire's David, right? Oh, you mean the old dude?
Yeah, I think that's Alan.
No, that's Max.
Oh, okay.
The head vampire is Max. Kiefer Sutherland's David, and Michael is Michael.
Michael.
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And Edgar and Allan Frog, I read, are named because of Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, okay.
Maybe so. So they're doing their thing. Well, they get into a fight to do their thing for a while. He finally throws him into the stakes that Grandpa made.
I was very unimpressed with that. I was like, that happened so fast.
It did kind of happen fast. It wasn't much of a...
Like, he was just very easily defeated. And I was like, that was it?
He didn't last longer than that. And then the mom and the guy walk
It's so
in.
that we could have more time with Cry, Little Sister.
Yeah. Need some more of that in there.
Yeah, but then Max gets there, and he goes over there, and you're like, okay, well, this motherfucker is involved somehow.
Well, yeah, walks over there and
And
just
so-
stares at him.
Yeah. It's like,
David.
my boys. It's like, okay, what?
And then he turns into he manifests into his vampire guy.
And I will say this. He is the ugliest motherfucking vampire I've ever seen.
He was kind of ugly looking. He's old.
Oh, he's not that old.
He was an old vampire, though.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's like, well, I wanted you to join me, Lucy. And she's like, I still have not processed any of this shit. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
he wanted Lucy to be the mama of the vampire clan.
The whole thing
gonna
was
be the
just
daddy.
weird.
And he told the boys earlier he didn't want to be their daddy.
Yeah.
But that's all he wanted. And he was looking for a vampire mama.
He wanted her, and he didn't want them.
He was just looking for some vampire
I'm going to rename
pee.
the movie Vampire Mama.
He wanted some vampire stuff.
Vampire pee.
Vampire Tang. He wants some V-Tang. He comes in, and then he's like, starts manifesting, and then Michael comes out and says, I didn't give you permission to be here, whatever.
Yes.
They start doing their thing, and then Grandpa comes in, backs his truck in with a log stake, and it drives through him,
Yes.
kills him,
And pops a beer. Ironic, right?
pops a beer.
I just felt like the whole ending of this was just very abrupt.
Rushed.
Just very
And then
abrupt.
says, that's the one thing about living in Santa Clara. I never could stomach all the damn vampires.
And then it had like, they did like a totally Quentin Tarantino song for the end.
What was it?
It was like very Pulp Fiction-y. Like the song at the end. And then it just ends.
I do remember it being like,
It's just the whole thing is so abrupt and happened so fast. Like that whole scene probably happened within like 6 or 7 minutes.
it was definitely pretty quick.
Yeah.
And now that you say that the movie was shot in 3-4 weeks, it makes a lot more sense now.
But for something that was shot that quickly, I mean, I feel like they did a good job for back then. But once you learn that, then you're like, yeah, the end is like what the fuck? I mean, this should have been
The
more
pacing's
like drawn
weird,
out. Yeah,
right?
it is. It is because it feels like the whole first half of the movie was happening like maybe on schedule with what they were filming, and then they were like, oh shit, we're running out of time. Let's just film this ending scene real quick, and then it was like done.
It does make you wonder if it's like a budget thing or they had to hurry or what. But
Well,
the ending did seem kind of quick.
Like $8 million, that's not a very big budget for a movie at
What
all.
was it in the 80s?
Yeah, with inflation, man. I mean, that was still a lot of money back then.
But you have to pay all those actors, and a couple of the actors are pretty big actors. And then
Was Kiefer a big actor then?
I think he was.
he kind of was, yeah, because he was in Flatliners, and he was in a few other things back then. Like in Flatliners, he was in that with Julia Roberts, and she was a huge thing back then. So I don't know. I don't love the movie.
I just thought the movie had so much nostalgia to it. Like just
Yeah.
the record store, the way things were just displayed, the way
I could
the
see the
bikes they
nostalgia
rode.
factor if I could relate to it, but I can't.
even the
Really
sunglasses.
felt very 80s, which was awesome.
Even the sunglasses that Michael wore is like iconic.
Oh, I did like his sunglasses.
want
I liked
those.
his whole look. His whole look was just very
I bet you did.
classic. Well, like just how he dressed and everything. It didn't look dated.
Yeah,
I didn't think.
very timeless.
Yeah, yeah.
Very timeless.
Aside
I
from
want
his
those
hair.
Sunglasses.
But I mean, I feel like vampire movies and vampire shows have come such a long way from that. You don't watch them.
I don't watch them. Mm-mm.
But have you ever watched True Blood?
We watched that. Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
have.
Good.
I
Well, you know
love
what? The
True
books
Blood.
were better.
I haven't read the books. I want to read the books,
They're good.
but I haven't. But I've tried to get him to watch it, and he actually kind of likes it, but in general, he's not into that stuff.
Suki.
That's exactly how they say it. He says her name's Suke, and she goes, Bill. That's exactly.
Bill.
She'll always turn on Netflix. I'm like, let me guess,
That's on HBO.
or HBO. Let me guess. You're gonna watch. Let me guess. You're gonna watch.
Do bad things with you.
You're gonna watch True Blood now.
No, we're gonna watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre now. That just came out
Is
today.
there a new one?
Yes, it's
Just
on
came out.
Netflix today. In case you watch stuff like that, it's supposed to be good. I know Brandon's looking forward to it.
I am. I'm thrilled. Cannot wait.
I don't know. The remake that came out 10 years ago was decent.
I didn't watch that one.
Which one was that? Was that the one that was like 3D?
Maybe.
I thought if that's the one it was, the killing in that one's good,
The killing is good.
but the acting's terrible.
The acting is terrible in every horror movie.
That's true.
Not in every horror movie.
Yeah.
Save
Brandon-
Jack Nicholson's performance in The Shining.
That's true. That's a good one. But Brandon doesn't even like that one.
It's just not my
Yeah,
thing.
if you
but
ever
that's
do
okay.
another horror movie, I'll come on and do The Shining with you.
Oh
Ooh, I'd love to do The Shining. I haven't thought about that.
gosh, great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Great flick.
We just started watching The Walking Dead, and he is completely uninterested. I've
So
seen
into
it.
it.
I've seen so much of that show, but I'm trying to get him to watch it, and he just
I
doesn't
think
watch
I
it.
made it to season 6.
Yeah, I did too, and then I stopped watching it.
Then after a while, I mean, it's just like
It got too much like the comic book,
yeah.
and I think comic book shit's weird, so it lost me.
Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap up
And the
this.
zombie noises.
I love that part.
God.
I love that part of it. I do.
We'll go ahead and wrap up this edition of Booze and Bloodshed.
Yeah, so that was the Lost Boys paired with Steele Reserve's malt liquor. I don't know what it is. Steele Reserve.
Still Reserve, what is it? The High Gravity Lager.
Yes. So we will see y'all next time.
Reach us at
boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com. You can also give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook at Booze and Bloodshed, and we are also on YouTube at Booze and Bloodshed.
I have a question though
Yes.
before you finish.
Yeah.
On the can, it says extra malted barley and select hops. Did you taste any hops?
Yeah, bitter.
I didn't.
Yes, very bitter and earthy.
I didn't either.
And then extra gravity.
Yeah, it's higher, so probably added stuff like corn.
Which means there's a shit ton of sugar in it.
Yep.
Slow brewed for exceptionally smooth flavor.
All right, well, see you guys later.
I'm Leah.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Sven.
Peace.
See ya.
See ya.